In the world of modern warfare, the winner is the fighter that fires before it's even seen. But has Russia really achieved that level of stealth with the Su-57? Is the Felon, as NATO calls it, truly invisible to radar, or is it a clever illusion? Today, we're diving deep into the myth and the reality of the Su-57 stealth. The Su-57 is Russia's first fifth-generation fighter jet, the crown jewel meant to compete with America's F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II. Its maiden flight took place back in 2010, marking Russia's entry into the era of stealth aviation. Its goal was ambitious: to combine extreme speed, super maneuverability, cutting-edge avionics, and radar invisibility into one lethal package. Yet from the very beginning, Western analysts questioned just how stealthy it really is. Unlike the F-22 or F-35, aircraft designed from the ground up to minimize radar reflections, the Su-57 represents a different philosophy, a blend of traditional Russian airpower thinking and modern stealth innovation. Russian designers never intended to vanish completely from radar. Instead, they focused on creating a fighter that could survive detection, confuse the enemy's systems, and strike back harder. In their view, true power doesn't come from being unseen. It comes from being unstoppable. Russian engineers claim this jet might be seen, but only when it's already too late. But how late exactly? Let's take a closer look at the design itself. The Su-57 has open air intakes, large round engine nozzles, and twin vertical stabilizers, all features that increase its radar cross-section. These elements reflect radar signals back toward enemy sensors instead of deflecting them away. In contrast, the F-22 Raptor's serrated edges, hidden engine intakes, and perfectly aligned surfaces scatter radar waves in multiple directions, drastically reducing its radar visibility. According to most estimates, the Su-57's radar cross-section ranges between 0.1 and 0.5 square meters, while the F-22's is believed to be about 0.0001 square meters. To put it simply, on a radar screen, the Su-57 appears roughly the size of a large bird, while the F-22 is more like a tiny mosquito, nearly impossible to spot until it's too late. But stealth wasn't Russia's main priority. They didn't want a fragile, maintenance-heavy aircraft like some Western designs. They wanted something practical, a war machine that could take off from rugged airstrips, endure battle damage, and still fly home. Roughly 30% of the Su-57's airframe is made of composite materials, less than the F-35 or F-22, but chosen for durability and lower production costs. Its radar-absorbent coating is also simpler, thinner, less sensitive, but much easier to repair. Russian engineers argue that extreme stealth coatings, like those on the F-35, are too delicate for field conditions and require constant maintenance. In their philosophy, a jet that can fight every day is more valuable than one that hides perfectly but rarely flies. So, instead of pursuing total invisibility, the Russians went for what they call practical stealth, enough to delay detection for a few crucial seconds, just long enough to gain a tactical advantage. But stealth on the Su-57 isn't only about its outer surface. Deep inside, it uses a sophisticated suite of electronic warfare systems capable of jamming and deceiving enemy radar. If the F-22 moves like a shadow, the Su-57 acts like a magician, visible yet capable of misdirection. By sending out false radar signatures or scrambling enemy tracking systems, it creates electronic confusion in the sky. Russian engineers refer to this as electronic stealth. However, one major weakness remains: its infrared signature. The Su-57's current AL-41F1 engines emit a significant heat plume that makes the jet easily visible to modern infrared search and track IRST systems. For stealth aircraft, heat is just as dangerous as radar reflection, because thermal sensors don't care how smooth or angular your plane is. Russia promises to fix this problem with the next-generation Izdaliya-30 engines, designed to be more fuel-efficient and produce less heat. But as of now, most operational Su-57s still rely on the older, hotter engines. Now, let's talk about real combat. Unlike the F-22 or F-35, which have flown thousands of missions, the Su-57's combat record remains thin. There are reports, mostly from Russian sources, claiming it was used in the war in Ukraine, but independent evidence is scarce. If it did participate, it likely fired long-range missiles from outside Ukrainian airspace, never exposing itself to enemy radar or surface-to-air defenses. So far, there are no confirmed air-to-air kills involving the Su-57. Still, every flight gives Russia valuable data for refining its design, software, and weapons integration. These missions serve more as field tests than full-scale combat, allowing engineers to quietly improve the aircraft before mass deployment. Comparing the Su-57 with its American rivals reveals three different design philosophies. The F-22 was built exclusively for air superiority. Dominate the skies and nothing else. The F-35 was built for versatility, a multi-role fighter for land, sea, and air missions. The Su-57, on the other hand, tries to be both agile, stealthy, and adaptable. Russians believe this hybrid approach makes their fighter more flexible across various combat situations, from high-speed dogfights to deep strike operations. One of the Su-57's unique features is its integration of artificial intelligence with the pilot. Its onboard computer systems can analyze data from multiple sensors, detect threats earlier, and even suggest tactical maneuvers in real time. It's also built to control loyal wingman drones like the S-70 Okhotnik, large, stealthy, unmanned aircraft designed to fly alongside the Su-57. Together, they can conduct coordinated attacks, where the Su-57 acts as a command center in the sky, directing drones to strike targets or distract enemy radars. In essence, the Su-57 is not just a fighter. It's a potential networked warfare platform for the next generation. But does all this make it superior? Not exactly. Russian media often presents the Su-57 as a world beater, yet even Russian defense officials admit its stealth is not on par with the F-22 or F-35. However, its real danger lies in its balance. Moderate stealth, incredible agility, and advanced electronic warfare systems combined. This makes it unpredictable in combat. You may see it on radar, but you might not survive long enough to react. In today's battlefield, invisibility alone isn't victory. A truly dominant fighter must see first, deceive first, and strike first, all at once. And by that measure, the Su-57 represents one of the most complex and fascinating war machines Russia has ever created. The development of the Su-57 continues to evolve. Newer variants with improved engines, coatings, and avionics are being tested right now. If those promises are fulfilled, the next generation of Su-57s, perhaps designated Su-57M, could become a serious threat to any Western jet. Still, mass production remains a huge challenge. While the United States has built over 1,000 F-35s, Russia has produced only a few dozen Su-57s so far. This industrial gap limits Russia's ability to deploy its advanced fighter in large numbers, leaving it more of a technological showcase than a battlefield game-changer, at least for now. In summary, the Su-57 is neither an unstoppable legend nor an underperforming failure. It's a smart attempt by Russia to merge its long-standing air combat philosophy with modern stealth technology. Its stealth is not about total invisibility. It's about delayed detection, gaining those few precious seconds that can decide life or death in air combat. And in that sense, the Su-57 achieves exactly what it was meant to, being just invisible enough. The Su-57 may not be a ghost in the sky, but if it's seen just a little too late, that moment could change everything. Ultimately, the Felon stands somewhere between myth and reality. Not as invisible as the F-22, but still a formidable machine that reflects a very Russian idea of warfare: rugged, adaptive, and built to survive. As one Russian engineer famously said, "We didn't build a jet to disappear. We built a jet that, even if seen, still wins."